Department of Energy. Hindi pa ba yan krisis? Ayaw pa ba talagang yugyugin ang mga utak ng mga tao sa gobyerno para tanggapin na tayo'y nasa isang krisis? At sinasabi na that we will run dry. Pakipaliwanag po para maintindihan, mapondohan, nandiyan ang chair ng finance, para ang ibang ahensya ng gobyerno ay maghanda pa at masyado pang gipitin ang belt tightening sa paghahanda. We want to understand. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, for convening this very important crisis committee hearing. And yes, I came from the BARM Parliament Forum and Senator Mig Subiri is there. Yes, I have a question for the DOE based on the pronouncements today. The DOE announced today that it is spending 20 billion pesos to buy 2 million barrels of diesel. But it was said in the hearing earlier, I was monitoring, that it's now 12 billion for 1 million barrels now that we are in a crisis. So pag yung 2 million barrels, so 24 billion, instead of having built a reserve before the crisis. So that's a fact. This came from the monitoring of the hearing and press statements today. The same 2 million barrels would have only cost 10 billion pesos instead of 24 billion because the DOE failed to build the buffer stock. The government needs an additional 14 billion on our oil stocks because we seemingly, correct me if I'm wrong, did not plan ahead. Other ASEAN governments, namely Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, it's a standard practice for them to stockpile oil even at a time when we are not in crisis, but the DOE did not and only started stockpiling oil when we are already in a crisis, unlike our ASEAN neighbors. So may I hear from the DOE, what is the answer that we're scrambling now to buy emergency stocks at more than double the price than we would have paid before? Buying in an emergency, of course, costs more. Doble ang presyo. Bakit tayo hindi nag-stockpile gaya ng ating mga ASEAN neighbors at bakit ganito ang presyo ngayon? Obviously, because we are in a crisis. Why did the DOE fail in that respect? Or at least that is in my perspective.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Secretary.
Mr. Chair, due to the oil deregulation law, the stockpiling is now passed on to our private companies. That's how it has been practiced. Dahil sila na yung nagdinegosyo sa langis, doon din sila, DOE requires them a certain minimum level of stocks. DOE by itself does not have the funding for this because we only have 2.5 billion per year as budget. It is actually now very expensive for if we do a stockpiling of 1 million barrels, good enough for 5 days, it's about 12 billion. We have the facility given by DBM for 20 billion. We are envisioning na hindi naman kailangan 24 kasi pagdating niyan, kung meron tayong oil companies na may kulang na, then we can have them access the stocks para paikot-ikot lang siya. And this is in addition to hopefully that the oil companies are able to stock also their purchases. So ginagawa rin na nila yan. They're doing purchases and we have checked with them. They have confirmed incoming deliveries this week and next week, and they're working on their deliveries for April, Mr. Chair.
Maliwanag bang inaamin ng DOE na hindi tayo, Philippine government, DOE, sabi mo na maski deregulated tayo, urging at least the private sector in preparation for any potential crisis, hindi talaga nag-stockpile at ginagawa niyong dahilan ay dahil deregulated tayo. At sinasabi niyo, pagpalitan niyo yung batas, kung balik sa regulasyon or regulated, ay kaya natin mag-stockpile. Yun ba ang ginagawa niyong dahilan?
Mr. Chair, we haven't stockpiled, the government itself hasn't stockpiled for decades already. Ngayon,
I'm not saying government. When I say tayo, whole of government ito, deregulated, at least may constant coordination and meeting with the private sector, so any potential crisis, just like our ASEAN neighbors, may buffer stock na safe. We're buying now at more than double what we could have bought for 10 billion because we did not stockpile. So I want to understand, is it all to be blamed because of the oil deregulation law enacted decades ago, or dahil hindi naisip ng DOE and it failed in trying to anticipate possible crisis? It's a simple question. You don't need the technical experts.
Mr. Chair, because of the oil deregulation law and also the privatization of this industry, the burden has shifted to the private. Now, the private, minomonitor po namin yan every week on their inventory. The requirement is actually 15 days. 15 days is just good enough para buffer for 2 weeks, pero hindi mahirap din i-increase because of the capacity of their storage and also the price of the product. Kaya doon po nakapeg sa 15 days more or less. Pero now, lucky enough, they have enough for 3 times that, Mr. Chair.
Is stockpiling an act of regulation, or is it just a matter of prudent planning? Hindi naman yan parang naghihimasok tayo sa pribadong negosyo at gagawin natin dahilan ang oil deregulation law at tikom ang bibig at nakagapos ang gobyerno dahil ang batas ginawa 20 years ago. Hindi, pagplano yan eh. Pagsasangguni eh. Pag-uusap eh. Para ano man ang krisis, kaya nga surprise yung nangyari kung tayo ay nakikipag-ugnayan gaya ng ibang mga bansang binanggit ko sa ASEAN, ay hindi tayo masyadong gipit, which brings me to the statement made earlier, which I monitored. Ano ba yung sabi? Tagtuyot? Ano yun? Ano yung sinabi dito? Ano yung sinabi dito? Nasaan yun? We could run dry. Yes. I heard it. So because number one, hindi naghanda ang DOE at ang ginagawa niyong dahilan ay ang deregulation law, at dahil hindi tayo nag-stockpile dahil sabi nyo hindi nyo gawain yan, na sa aking paningin ay hindi yan paghihimasok sa pribadong negosyo kung hindi prudent planning. Tapos sinabi ng DOE, we could actually run dry. Tagtuyot, mauubusan, ilan na lang. Paliwanag po ano ang ibig sabihin. Akin na yung salitang yon. Ano ba yung sinabing, tsaktong sinabi? We will run dry. The worst case is that our country runs dry. Okay, sabihin natin, sa 110 million Filipinos, DOE, Secretary, the worst case is the country will run dry. Pakipaliwanag po ang tagtuyot sa sambayan ng Pilipino para po kami maintindihan namin ang paghahandang dapat gawin. Kung ganyan po ang sinasabi ng Department of Energy, hindi pa ba yan krisis? Ayaw pa ba talagang yugyugin ang mga utak ng mga tao sa gobyerno para tanggapin na tayo'y nasa isang krisis? At sinasabi na that we will run dry. Pakipaliwanag po para maintindihan, mapondohan, nandiyan ang chair ng finance, para ang ibang ahensya ng gobyerno ay maghanda pa at masyado pang gipitin ang belt tightening sa paghahanda. We want to understand. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair. Running dry means we run out of fuel and of gasoline and
Yes, yes,
diesel.
obviously. Teka po.
Ay.
English po yung sinabi nyo, sinalita nyo yon translated sa Filipino. Maari sigurong karaya kung gusto nyo. Ibig ko sabihin paliwanag, hindi po translation. What I mean, what I want the DOE to say is the implications. What does running dry mean in terms of the farmer and the fisher folk and the jeepney driver and all of those in the lower income and middle income, all of us? What are the implications insofar as agriculture, insofar as transport sector, nandiyan ang DOTR, insofar as what are your action plans? Because you said it, not us. The country will run dry. Kung tayo'y mauubusan na ng langis na nagpapatakbo ng ating ekonomiya, gusto namin marinig ni Chair kanina pang 9:00. Anong action plan na hindi motherhood statement? Thank you, Chair.
Secretary Kirin.
Mr. Chair, I can only speak for DOE that what the impact on the industries would be with the other agencies. And sa atin po, as our impact would be the fuel side on the gas stations and which affects the transport, and then on the power side. The power side, we fortunately we are only using diesel at 3% in our energy mix. So ang most affected dyan would be Napocor, Mr. Chair, the islands, no? So that's why our chair, our president has been hard at work in coming up with alternatives in case different scenarios. On the fuel side, we are currently the effect would be transportation cannot run. We are doing different scenarios to do avoiding that, working with DFA, working with the different governments, different countries, different oil companies para siguraduhin po that our orders are consistent, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for that statement, DOE. The worst case is that our country runs dry. Nagtuyot ang Pilipinas base sa fuel. The implications, according to the DOE, transport will not run. Kung yan po ang mangyayari, isa lang yan sa implikasyon. Ano po ang action plan na mararamdaman po ng taong bayan na pwede niyong ilahad sa komiteng ito pag mangyari yung worst case scenario that our country runs dry? Ang tubig din, kulang. World Water Day nung isang araw, isa pang issue yan, tubig naman. The water will run dry sa Pilipinas. The country will run dry, worst case scenario, ayon sa DOE, and the transport sector will not run. Having said that, may this representation, Mr. Chair, ask the DOE, ano po ang inyong mungkahi at action plan? Dapat, worst case scenario palagi ang ating mindset. Ganon kami sa national security sa military. Palaging wargaming, worst case scenario. If the transport sector is not secure and will not run because the country will run dry, ano ang action plan ng DOE maliban sa sinabi nyo kaninang carpooling, work from home, Zoom with mayors? Ano pa po?
Mr. Chair. On the inventory level, Mr. Chair, we're doing different scenarios in different contingency plans. Ano? Ang first off sa ngayon is we are talking to all the oil companies constantly and checking their inventory, making sure that meron tayong enough. Right now, even though we have enough for the next month, we are already working on the next batch. Kaya kinakausap na rin namin yung mga ministers ng iba't pang bansa and looking and PNOC which hasn't been done before. PNOC, a government corporation, is also looking for alternative routes other than those getting from Middle East. So, yun po yung isang intervention namin na talagang pinupush makakuha, and PNOC is there just in case it gets too expensive na rin, or it is getting expensive. We are willing to buy as long as there is enough supply in the Philippines. So sinisecure po yung supply. That's our first and main objective, no. Next, now if it's depleting for some reason, we also have different alternatives, and we are already working on this. We're supposed to have a meeting today with for biodiesel or biofuels, to utilize biofuel both for generation of power and as well as for transportation. It's either increase the production, or if they don't have enough raw materials, if we need raw materials, we're still assessing what is the volume that's needed for generation and what's needed for the cars, Mr. Chair. Kasi there are vehicles that cannot take in 20%, for example, in the blend. So, inaaral po rin ngayon, and we're coming it with the volume that will be needed. So, piniprepare na lang namin. The other intervention that we did just recently is just in case kung wala na talaga mga Euro 4, Euro 2 can help in the generation of power. That's also an option. And ang other, and then we're also ramping up the renewable energy. Meron pong mga projects na papasok pa lang December, so we're helping them. Target is to have them on grid na by April, para pumasok na sila, para mabawasan yung pressure sa fuel, or kung hopefully matanggal siya sa power, doon na lang siya sa transportation. So that's what some of the interventions we are doing now, para hindi po mangyari po yung worst case scenario natin.
I'd like to quote the president today in an interview with Bloomberg. Several countries have already told our airlines they cannot fuel their aircraft, so they have to carry fuel there and back. Long haul is going to be a much more serious problem. These are the president's statements today, and it seems to be at odds, hindi po tugma sa sinabi po ng DOE na sinabi, but they have assured us they're okay. Ayon po sa DOE, we met them because we wanted to know if they need help in procuring, but they have assured us they're okay. Garin said. Ito po yung sa balita ngayon lang. Ayon po sa Pangulo ay may problema, long haul is going to be much serious problem. They have to carry fuel, but the DOE said they're okay. Kaya siguro walang sense of urgency. Apparently, ang iba sa gobyerno kasi we're okay. May I just be enlightened, please? Ano po ang tamang statement, at tayo ba ay A-okay? O tayo ba ay posibleng mag-run dry? Ano ba ho talaga ang statement?
Mr.
Thank
Chair.
you, Mr. Chair.
Our consultation is on their fuel, Mr. Chair. We have checked, we met last night at around 6 o'clock with Petron, because they're the supplier, Cebu Pacific and PAL. They have a combination of suppliers, Petron, and also they import it on their own. As of yesterday, their inventory is around 38 days. 38 days, and they have confirmed. We asked them if they want us to help them procure additional fuel for the next month, meaning on May. They have already secured confirmation of their next order. I think it was South Korea, no? And what we will do is just follow it up with a G2G dialogue also to make sure that it comes in. So they have told us that as far as their fuel here is concerned, sufficient sila for the next 2 months, Mr. Chair.
you. Mr. President, Mr. Chair, ang gusto ko sanang marinig mula sa executive, pag ang DOE ay nagsabi na the country will run dry at tinanong natin sa ating crisis committee ano ang implications nito at ano yung action plan, ang gusto kong marinig sana, impact if we run dry. Ano? Transport stops. Ano ngayon ang action plan? DOTR. Food supply is disrupted. Ang ngayon ang action plan? DTI. Emergency services stalled. Ang ngayon ang gagawin ng DOH at iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno. Prices spike as they are doing now. Ano ngayon ang ginagawa nyo? DA at DTI. Agriculture gets hit. It's already hit. And farmers and fisher folks, despite being half of our population, only, tama ba yun? 44,000 lang mabibigyan ng ayuda. Ano ba yun? GDP declines, anong gagawin? DepDev, DOF, etc. Ano ang gagawin natin? Health risks, wala ba ang DOH dito? Ganun sana ang ating gustong marinig mula sa gobyerno, sa executive, sa pagpulong na ito. Mula tayo ng alas 9, hindi masyadong mga motherhood statement. But having said that, I don't think they're prepared for that. Perhaps in the second hearing, they could be more prepared and not come late. It was also stated that the DOE is trying to cap profits. To cap profits. So pwede pala eh. Diba? Sinabi ba nyo yon? To cap profits. Why just now? Ano pa ang natuklasan sa nakaraang 4 na linggo ng DOE? Ano ba ang usual na margins ng mga kumpanya? At paano magkaka-adjust? Assuming you have the answer to that, kung di sila handa, Mr. Chair, ay maari nilang ibigay sa atin sa pangalawang hearing or after today kasi gusto natin aralin yung statement na they are looking to cap profits. Sino yung they? The private sector. O, ano ang natuklasan ng DOE sa inyong pagpupulong at investigasyon? Ano ba ang mga margin? We have to understand all that, and this applies to the queries of Senator Marcoleta. Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
We don't have the power to cap profits, Mr. Chair, right now. That the discussion was about what are the, I think Honorable Senator Ontiveros was asking what could be possible changes that we would suggest in the amendment or overhaul of the oil deregulation law. The current system is there are several parts of the supply chain until it gets to the gas stations, and at this there is a difference, a huge difference between a gas station in, let's say, in a town in Mindanao and in NCR, and that's what we want to explore the possibility of that in times of emergency or in times of like this, there has to be a certain limitation para hindi masyadong mabigat po sa mga consumers natin.